Lesson number 59 and third lesson of the quiz series. We are learning JavaScript and we are learning JavaScript by examples. In this series, we are creating this quiz called How Many Tigers? And this is what we have done so far. In the last lesson, we added some CSS to format our page and to make our application look beautiful. In today's lesson, we'll add some functionality in that when a user clicks on any of these options, the web page or the application should provide a response whether the answer is right or wrong. So without wasting time, I will change the size of my browser. And this is the folder that we have been working on. I'll double click and open it. This was the last HTML document that we created. And this is the exact copy of this one to represent 59th lesson and third lesson on the quiz series. So I'll close this and I'll drag and drop this folder onto my Visual Studio Code. So this is the document that we are working on. So this is the code, and this is the code that we have written so far. In today's lesson, we want to add an event listener to these radio buttons. What it means that when user clicks on any of these buttons, we want to know that user has clicked. And these radio buttons have been saved as this variable we input. This is where we creating these elements, input elements, and this is where we are changing these elements to radio buttons. So we want to add an event listener to this variable. So I will copy this and I will say v_input.add event listener, and we want to listen to any of the click events. And when that happens, we want to run a function. The usual format of the function is the keyword function, parentheses, and an opening curly bracket and a closing curly bracket. And I want to pass an E as the object of this anonymous function. And we have had a lesson about what objects are and what is E object here. And when that happens, I want to run an if condition. I want to check. And the usual format of if is if keyword, parentheses, and an opening curly bracket and a closing curly bracket. And when that happens, we want to check to see if this v label, which is this one, v label text content, if v label.text content, copy and paste it here. If v label.text content of the clicked radio button is equal to the answer, I will add another key value pair, answer provided in this object, and the correct answer in this object for this question is 1. So I will use this variable, copy and paste it here, and the correct answer is part of the index 0. This whole object is available at index 0. So 0, and the answer property of this object. When the clicked radio button has a v label.text content, which is this word here and which is coming from here, is equal to the answer, then it should, I will simply say, it should alert us to, it should say wah wah, just to check to see if it is working. Else it should say alert. Oh no. So let's see if it is working. I will save it, refresh it, and I will click on the correct answer. It says wah wah. If I select the wrong answer, it says oh no. So the functionality has been achieved and we want to further improve it. So to do that, what I will do, I will add another div here, and I will give it an ID of result. So hash symbol, result, and press tab, and a div has been created with the ID of result. And just to check to see if it is available, I will type in correct within the inner HTML of this div. If I save it and refresh it, we have this word correct here. For now, I want to leave it empty. And if I now save it, although the div is there, but there's nothing within the inner HTML of this div. So I will target this div with the help of ID, and I will say when the answer is correct, I will say document dot get element by ID, and the ID of this newly created element is result. Copy and paste it here, and when the vLabel.text content is equal to the answer that has been provided in this object of this array, it should say alert Wawa, and the inner HTML of this div should say correct. So if I now save it and refresh my page, maximize my browser, type in the correct answer, select the correct answer, alert visible, and the keyword corrects become visible as well. So we want to do the same thing if the answer is not right. So I will copy this and I will paste it here, and I will change the inner HTML to wrong. Let me save the document, maximize my browser, refresh it, select the correct answer, alert is visible, it says correct. And if I select the wrong answer, alert says oh no, and the word wrong is visible. We want to further improve our page. We want to provide a tick or a cross as well, and this tick and a cross has been saved in our images folder as this tick PNG and a cross PNG. So what I will do, I will create a class in our CSS area, and the way to target a class is a dot symbol, and the name of the class is gonna be tick CSS, and opening curly bracket and a closing curly bracket. So when the user selects the correct option, we want this class to apply to this result area, and I'll show you how to do that. So first of all, we are creating a class, and this class has a background image of URL within the images folder, and the name of the image is tick PNG. All right, so we are calling an image, a background image, in this class from this folder, images folder, which has been indicated here, images folder, and the tick, which is a tick mark. And if I save it, we also have to change the class here. So I will target this element again with the help of ID. So I will copy and I will paste it, and this time we want to set attribute, and we want to change the attribute of class to tick CSS, the class that we have just created. So if I now save it and refresh it, nothing new should happen. So says Wawa, correct is visible, but we want to present this image which is there but is not visible because the image is too big. So I want to say background size, and I will say 30 or maybe 40 pixels. So if I now save my file, refresh it, select the correct option, alert is visible, and you can see multiple tick symbols, multiple tick images are available here. So we want to provide just one tick image. So if I change the size of my browser and change my class to background and say background repeat, no repeat, that will do the trick. If I save it, refresh my web page. If I select the correct answer, 1, alert becomes visible. Okay, and then the tick symbol is visible here far away, and that's what that is not what we want. So we'll have to change the size of our div, which is a result. This div is too big, so I will target this div with the help of id in CSS, hash symbol, result, which is the id of this element, and I will say width maybe 150 pixels. That should do the trick. So if I now save it, refresh my web page, select the correct answer, alert is visible, and the correct and the tick are visible on the far left hand corner. We want them to be visible. We want them to be visible in the center of the page, horizontally centered. I will change the size of my browser once more time, and I will say display block and margin auto. That will bring the element horizontally in the center of the page. 1, alert becomes visible, correct, and then tick mark, the word correct is visible. That's what we want. If I select the, we want to add the same thing if the wrong answer is selected. So we want to apply we want to make a cross symbol visible here instead of this tick symbol. So I will create another class. I'll copy this and paste it here and change the tick image to cross png. Change the name of the class to cross CSS, and when the answer that has been provided is wrong, I want to copy this line of code and I want to paste it here, and I want to change this class to cross CSS, and that's it. So if I now save my document, maximize my browser, refresh, select the correct answer, the alert becomes visible, the tick mark is visible, the correct word is visible. If I select the wrong answer, the alert says oh no, say okay, and the cross symbol is visible and the word wrong is visible. So that is it for today, and probably we can further improve it. Now that we have this beautiful functionality, we can get rid of this alert and this alert here. And if I now save it and maximize my page, refresh it, provide the correct answer, it says correct, and if I select the wrong answer, wrong, correct. And I will also change the height of the, if you notice the div is not visible here. If I select an answer, whole thing jumps down and that looks ugly. So what I will do, I will add height to the result div, this div, and I will say 40 pixels, and that will stop the jumping of this area. So if I refresh it, there is already a div here. If I select the correct answer, no jumping. So that is it for today. In the next lesson, I will add a few more questions and I'll show you how to randomly make those questions appear on the web page and get the response from the user. Thank you very much.